Are there any consent agenda items that a board member would like to have discussed as an action item? Hearing none, do I have a motion that the governing board adopt the meeting agenda?
I move that we adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
I second it.
I'll second, but I have a problem. I have the April 20th.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Are you ready, Ms. Ocampo?
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Moving to A3, Pledge of Allegiance.
Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now observe a 30-second moment of silence. Thank you. We'll move to B, presentations. B1, AESD retirees. The Alhambra Elementary School District and the Governing Board would like to recognize and congratulate the 2022-2023 retirees. A heartfelt thank you is extended to these individuals for their contributions to our students.
Antonia Martinez. Marilyn Johnson. Verna Morris. Don Sullivan. Renee Smith. Cynthia Wheeler. Janet Ceballos. David Hernandez. Henry Crone. Nathan Johnson. Jana Lunt. Anna McCrory. Melinda Brashear. Albert Abril. Gloria Camoy Valenzuela. Judy Duran. Cinda Brennan. Debbie Hennings. Lori Gannon. Danny Altamirano. And Kimberlyn Aldridge. Were there any retirees missed? No. Okay. Oh. We'll come back because I think they're going to present first.
Let's give another round of applause for our retirees. B2, Superintendent, AAA Students Presentation.
Good evening, President Conchas, members of the Governing Board, and Dr. Mayes. My name is Summer Warford, and I am from Madrid Neighborhood School. With me tonight is Kendall Ortega from Global Academy of Phoenix and Zawadi Mamini from Granada East School. Tonight, we are here to share the results of the AAA Student Survey for the 2022 to 2023 school year. AAA stands for Alhambra Adolescent Advisors. Each campus has a student council and a staff advisor. One student council member from each junior high school is selected to be a AAA representative for the school. As a leadership club, not only do we meet on our own campuses throughout the year, but once a month, the AAA representatives from each of the junior high schools come together and meet with Dr. Myers. When we meet, we discuss our school celebrations, things we notice, things we would like to change, and how we could help with changing them. So why are we here tonight? During one of our AAA meetings this year, we thought it would be important to create a student survey to help the AAA team. The schools in the district learn what we are doing well in Alhambra and what we need to improve on or develop. The AAA team brainstormed and collaboratively created questions that we thought would give us good information about our schools and district. We selected 6 categories that we wanted to focus on: academics, behaviors, community, extracurricular activities, safety, and staff. We decided to create an electronic survey where teachers would provide students a link or a QR code. We determined students in grades K through 8 would all take the survey. The K through 3rd survey would have 5 questions with easy multiple choice answers only, and we asked teachers to go through the survey with their students to encourage complete understanding. However, at the end of the survey, each student would be expected to submit their own, not just one survey per class. The 4 through 8 students would be expected to fully answer 10 questions on the survey, including 4 stop and explain questions. We wanted each student to submit their own survey to ensure every voice was heard equally. We created a timeline which included meeting and sharing ideas with our principals to discuss how we wanted to administer the survey across our campuses. During the end of February through the beginning of March, we surveyed all of our students across the district on the 6 focus areas. After the survey window, we also began analyzing and discussing with our principals specific school data results. Today, we will be sharing general district-wide results from this survey with you.
Here are the results. 7,097 K-8 students completed this survey, which is 71% completion based on our enrollment at that time. And you can see all of our K-8 schools are represented in the survey. The first question that all students were asked was about how they like to learn. Students could select as many choices as they wanted. As you can see throughout all the grade levels, the top 2 choices of best ways to learn according to them with iPads and or paper pencil. A close third choice is hands-on learning coming from the K-3 students. With the results, we learned that the data from both the yes and no perspective. We celebrated many of the high percentages of yes responses, but we also had to dig deeper into the no responses. Although the no percentages are not the majority, it is still information we need to consider. Our next question was, Our next question was, do you learn something new every day? As you can see, the blue in the graph represent the yes response with 94% in K-8 and 81.3% in 4th through 8th. For K-3 students, they had another yes or no question. Does your teacher and school staff care about you? 93% said yes and 7% said no. A similar question was created for the 4th through 8th grade students. Do you feel supported by the teachers and staff at your school? 91.5% said yes. 8.5% had said no to this one, and the survey allowed them the opportunity to tell us a little more about why they feel that way. If the students responded no to the last question, then they were asked, what could teachers and staff do to help students feel safer and more welcomed? Some common suggestions were, be kind, listen, gain the students' trust, and help students to understand. Thoughts that were shared about not being supported were mainly in regards to situations. Some students felt like they were not being liked by their teacher, but it was also during the time they were explaining that they were receiving consequences for a bad choice. And in many cases, it was the dislike of rules and consequences that made them feel like they were not being cared for or supported. Some additional district-wide results for 4th through 8 questions are, Are the learning materials in your classes at your level? 89% yes and 11% no. Would you be interested in other elective classes besides art, music, and PE? 65% yes and 35% no. The top 5 other elective suggestions from the 4th through 8th grade students were cooking or baking, learning other languages other than English and Spanish, dance, coding, and woodworking.
Another question was, do you feel like you have the opportunity to be included in all things at school? 83% yes, 17% no. And with that question, the students could explain a little bit more about why some common answers that were shared. I'm not good at things, I'm too nervous, I'm not smart enough, and I don't understand the language. Suggestions like these will allow the AAA student, their principal, and counselor to work together to come up with ideas to help the students not feel this way. We want everyone to feel more included at school and want students to feel welcome to participate in everything going on at their school. So knowing this information is very helpful. Now for next steps. AAA students met with their principals to discuss their specific school data. With the focus on continuous improvement, alternative solutions to concerns are being discussed and possibly developed. Principals are also discussing the student results with their staff. This data can also be used next year as the basis of decision-making to better include our students' thoughts and concerns. AAA would like to continue to provide a survey at the end of each school year for students to provide their ideas and feedback. If you are new and you feel scared or nervous, the teacher should say it is okay. This will be a great home for you. I feel like more teachers need to understand that we are kids and that we're growing and learning, but some people have a hard time understanding things. Just come talk to me to make sure that I'm okay and how's my day going. Help me learn when I don't understand and support me when I don't want to say I don't understand because I feel embarrassed. In conclusion, we would like to leave you with some final thoughts that were shared from the students in the survey. This concludes our presentation tonight. Are there any other questions?
Questions? Comments?
Awesome. You guys did such a fantastic job. I'm so thrilled that you put out a survey and you had 71% respond. Do you know how amazing that is? People think it's good if they get 30% back, and you got 71%. It's incredible that that many students responded. Your information that you got is going to help not only your administrators and your staff at your school, but it will help us as we move forward as well. And as I told somebody earlier, I can't wait till you get a little bit older and you can run for our seat on the school board. Let me know when you're ready. I'll come out and get your signature.
Thank you.
You are on your way to be great leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments? I want to reiterate that 71% is amazing. And one question to you all about the electives. So I saw that there was a different types of electives: languages, cooking, baking, coding, woodworking. For the AAA scholars here, what would you suggest be some electives that students should be provided with?
I like the idea of more languages other than English and Spanish. I think every student should get to know like a foreign language just to have that knowledge in the back of their head.
I agree with Summer. I've been trying to learn Mandarin, which is another language, which it would be a lot easier if it was provided with school other than Spanish, but I do think that English and Spanish are also good languages to learn.
I feel like English and Spanish are great languages, but if there were other languages that were included, it would be awesome as well, just have like a second option. And basically just more options would be amazing.
Thank you so much. That concludes this presentation. Another round of applause for our AAA scholars. Now the governing board will present our AAA scholars with a gift.
And I just want to say how much I appreciate each of you and all that you've helped me as I lead the district. And I've enjoyed getting to know each and every one of you. And so inside your gift in your book, you'll find a personal message on the front page. All right, so thank you. Brandon Aldama. Brianna, and Brianna is our only sixth grader. Eduardo, I didn't see Eddie. Eduardo Delgado. Juliana Garduno. Oh, there you are, Julie. Jose Pacheco. And Jose was a tour guide today at CLA for Westwood students. Did a phenomenal job. Shanice Dorch. And Shanice was a seventh grader last year, so this has been 2 years. Kendall Ortega, Kai. I shared with Kai, I'll have to share with you all too. We added a PE teacher to GAP this school year because Kendall was Kai was a great voice and an advocate expressing the need. And there was, as it grew a lot this year. Zawadi. And Yaritza from JW, I didn't see her. Do you want to take her gift for Yaritza? Okay. Summer Wolford. And Liliana Romo. Congratulations again, and thank you for helping me lead the district this year. Great job. And parents, you should be very proud. Thank you for your support. We're going to take a picture.
Let's give one more round of applause for our AAA scholars. We will now take a short recess until 6:30. C, information items. C1, financial report. The financial report is available in your board packet. Moving to D, D1, public comment. There is no public comment today. Moving to E, consent agenda. I call for a motion that the governing board approve consent agenda items E2 through E15.
I move that we approve consent agenda items E2 through E15.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving to F, business services. I call for a motion that the governing board approve the intergovernmental agreement, the IGA, with Greater Phoenix Education Management Council, GPEMC.
I move that we approve the intergovernmental agreement with GPEMC, Guppy Mac.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Any discussion?
I applaud us for continuing to work with this organization, with this group. It provides our superintendent the opportunity to interface with her peers across the valley. And I think that's very instrumental in us being successful.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving to F2. I call for a motion that the governing board approve the resolution authorizing the district to call for a special election to sell, lease, or exchange district property. And before we do this, when are we going to do the presentation? No, we'll have a presentation.
Thank you, President Conchas, members of the board, and Dr. Myers. The purpose of this presentation is to provide you a deeper understanding and rationale aligned to the resolution that is up for your consideration tonight to authorize the district to call for a special election to sell, lease, or exchange district property. If you recall, an affordable housing project presentation was shared at our December board meeting, and if you don't recall, I put one on your desk. The presentation provided the board an update regarding a Vitalist Foundation grant that supported the exploration of possibilities of building affordable housing within the district boundaries. The committee worked to create a proof of concept and establish the doability and also identify possible district-owned parcels that could potentially be used for affordable housing. A hope is that additional affordable housing in our district boundaries would help families, but also possibly our staff, and the committee did learn that it may be possible to write provisions into a sales contract regarding affordable housing and the use of affordable housing by the district as a preference. So this slide outlines for you the election timeline. As a next step in this process, we are to call for a special election. That's the purpose of the resolution that's up for your consideration. Approving this resolution means that we would go to our voters and ask the question, shall the governing board of the Alhambra Elementary School District be authorized to sell, lease, or exchange parcels or portions thereof? This does not obligate us to sell anything. It just gives us permission to do so if we choose. This slide shares the election timeline to call for a special election, and we did consult with our political consultant, Mr. Yulin, who supports us during election seasons. He shared that he believes that at minimum, because you see that a cost is noted at the bottom, Phoenix Union and the City of Phoenix will be going out for a bond during this next election, so we do anticipate there being shared costs for this particular election, but it is a little more expensive to go out in 2023 than it would be in 2024 when there is a regular election. However, I also, would be remiss to not share the concern that bundling an opportunity to earn money and then put a question to the voters to ask for money might not be a wise strategy, and going out any later further delays any opportunity that this this project could have for our community. So you wait and you risk the chance of voters' opinion that you don't need any money, you're selling this land, but you also delay a project that is very needed for a whole nother year. So you might also be asking yourself, why a special election now? We are scheduled to go out for an M&O override in November of 2024. Our capital override is in November of 2026, and we have not determined a bond election yet, because the team needs to determine an overwhelming need and then also the capacity of our community to support further bond efforts. So really the timing now is right. These photos on the next two slides outline, there was a lot of legal identification of the parcels, and so we wanted to give you a visual of what those parcels actually look like. Mind you, the language does say parcels or portions of, so yes, you do see buildings that we are using right now. It is not the district's intention to sell off land that we're using. If we chose to use a section of parcel A, we would subdivide that into a separate parcel and only use the smaller pieces that are not being used and are not a benefit to the district at this time. So this is parcel A. You can see that encompasses the entire district office and the transportation yard, but there's also an area where you can see that dirt to the west with a little bit of trees. That could be potential, and that would, if we were to sell parcel B, sectioning off part of parcel A would provide better access, in my opinion, better, safer access to the potential housing project than residents entering off of Grand. But that being said, that's all up to a developer. This is pictures of parcel C and parcel D. You can see that parcel D is large and encompasses all of Andalusia Middle's campus, which is the preschool. The part of the parcel also supports the lease to Read Better, Be Better. And then there is that empty field right there. The empty field is used by extracurricular, but it is a space we could potentially use. We do have legal counsel here if you do have specific legal questions, and I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Myers for the following slides.
Good evening, everyone. So I just wanted to share a little bit about why this is important to our district and our community. Many of you know that that the City of Phoenix is a great partner for us, and I have the pleasure of representing our community as a Human Services Commissioner. And in that work, I get to hear a lot about the work of the Human Services Department and what the City of Phoenix is doing. And one of the things that they did most recent, about a year ago actually, they were involved in a community assessment to determine the needs of the city so that it would help guide their work as a department. And so that was a year ago, and then most recently they presented, because it's been a year, they wanted an update. You know, what's the status of the work and the needs of the city? And so this was just presented as a one-year update, and again regarding the community assessment. And what you'll notice here is one of the findings was something that we're seeing in our district every day. In that, so the data says between 2012 and 2022, the proportion of housing units in the city of Phoenix that are affordable to families earning the city's median income decreased from 80% of the homes to 18% of the homes. That's a significant decrease in the amount of homes that are affordable to people. And as far as fair market rents, they increased substantially between 20 and 23, and so with an average increase of 32.2%. And so there is the data for you to look at regarding the housing crisis currently being experienced in our community. And so the next slide also again just shows the fair market rents by home size. And so whether we're thinking about families that want to purchase a home, again, you saw the data as far as what's affordable, and families that are trying to even just sustain their rent right now. I know I try my best to stay connected to our families, and I have spoken to more community members that are not only parents, but also employees of ours that have been evicted from their apartments. And it's just been such a challenge. I know even some of our, I was thinking about one of our families who we were just trying to get into a shelter because they were just evicted. And I know I spoke to the principal the other morning, and the family has, even though they were, one of our teachers, Miss Green, who's wonderful at Sevilla West, helped the family. The child hasn't showed up to school in the last few days, and so it makes you worry about our kids and what they're going through. And like I said, a number of our families are going through this, and so something we have to think about as a district. And the fact is though the city is working hard to provide, I know even our governor most recently released the budget. We know that there's a significant amount for affordable housing, but the issue is land. There isn't land to build on, and so this is an opportunity for us to again, support our community with a great need, but then at the same time, we know we're also facing declined enrollment. And we know the challenges that declined enrollment present to our district. Next governing board meeting, we will be presenting the data from a demographic study where they are sharing that we are likely to decrease in enrollment by 2.7% each year, which is significant, and that means a lot when you think about the district's budget. And so this will not only allows for opportunity to potentially again support a community need, but then our district, we also know we have amazing schools, amazing staff, and we want to ensure people who want to be educated, to live in this community and be educated and have an opportunity to be in our Alhambra schools have that opportunity. The last slide is, again, as I think about the number of families that we support and serve, and we also have an increasing number of children that are experiencing homelessness. And so the data that the city released from their assessment showed, again, a significant increase in homelessness, which we are seeing in our community as well. The city created 592 shelter beds in 2022 and has 800 more under development. However, the number of individuals experiencing homelessness grew from 4,600 in 2019 to 6,038 in 22. That's pretty significant. And then the data there as well, the number who are unsheltered, you can see, increased from 2,030 in 2019 to 3,096 in 2022, an increase of over 50%. And like I said, it's affecting our community. And so we appreciate this data so that we have an opportunity to see how we can meet the need.
Subject to your questions, that concludes our presentation.
Thank you. I actually talked to Mandy earlier and had all my questions answered, but I thought maybe I would share with the public some of the questions I asked so they can hear the answers as well. One of them you answered in the presentation, and that was the one about selling that piece off that is south of the transportation. And that makes sense to me because today I drove around there and it's like taking your life in your hands trying to turn out onto Grand Avenue. So that was a great explanation for that one. I asked about the property at the preschool academy. That is what I will affectionately call that property because I noticed it backed up to an alley and there were homes on the other side of it. So a lot of the questions I asked were kind of premature as we don't know what's going to happen yet. So many of the questions I asked, I said were premature because I was concerned about zoning and if we have a 4-story apartment building next to this preschool, how that's going to look, how the buffer zones in there, where we're going to park if we sell off the parking lot over here because we already don't have enough parking. So I appreciate that you answered those questions for me in advance. We all know it's a need, and if we have property that can be utilized, then go for it. Oh, the other question I asked was about because in years past, we've talked about renovating that old gymnasium that's on that funky triangle piece. Sometimes you just I'm old, so this is going to sound terrible. Sometimes you just have to let go of what's old. I mean, if it's not worth saving and we can't afford to remodel it, we have to value the historic, we have to place the historic value over the benefit it would be for our community to use that property differently. So thank you to Mr. Solario and the committee. I think you've brought some great suggestions. Now all I have to do is put it out there and see how the voters think about it and see if we can get somebody to bite on it and provide some housing for our families.
Looking at the sample ballot language, I understand that any funds that we receive if we sell or lease or exchange, it says to purchase school sites and or to construct, improve, equip, furnish school buildings and or to purchase student transportation or other vehicles. Understanding these funds would go into the M&O budget. Is that correct?
They would go towards capital improvements.
Capital improvements. Okay, and is that description in the ballot an overarching, like, is that everything in the capital improvement budget that we can use?
All of those things are in the capital improvement. They fall under the umbrella of capital improvement.
And is there anything more that we could include in that or no for capital improvement? I'm just asking, are we limiting ourselves with the capital improvement budget by putting this language very specific into the ballot?
Good question. Jim Gill with Gus Rosenfeld. That's pretty much the entire laundry list of items that you could do under capital. I guess we could, if we wanted to make it a little more general, add something at the end of that sentence to make it, or any other capital expenditure. That's a good idea. So we can do that. And just so you know, kind of full disclosure, the statute also allows proceeds from a sale or a lease to be used to redeem outstanding bonds. That's one of the other things you can do. But what it specifically says you cannot do is use it for M&O. So working with staff after the meeting, we'll tweak the language a bit.
And should we also include that bond piece that you just spoke about in the ballot language?
Let me take that up with Scott. I understand he can't be here tonight, so we can chat about that afterward, and he can report back.
And then my other question is for either you or for Mr. Solario, who's an expert. In terms of the zoning of this, it currently isn't zoned for housing. Is that correct?
It is, but for low-density housing.
And what is low density?
Low density means you're only allowed to build single-family homes.
Okay.
Large single-family homes.
And so what would need to be the process? So this is the first step. What would need to be the process after that in order to build higher density?
We have multiple options. We met with the City of Phoenix Planning Development Department. They gave us a few options. One is a direct rezone to a higher intensity residential zoning district. And the other was to use the existing zoning, get a height and density waiver under the commercial code, which allows for R3 development standards, and then parcel off the land in a way that we are buffering from the single-family homes adjacent to both parcels, both the preschool campus and the district office. So the two options were presented, but so we would seek entitlement changes, and the intent is to do that through grants.
And a question about if this is passed, is there an expiration date? Like, is there a deadline that the property would need to be sold, leased, or exchanged?
Yeah, good question. On the lease side, you're limited to 10 years.
Okay.
On the sale side, there's no limit. There's no expiration date.
Okay. And then the last thing that I'll express to governing board members and to the public is that I fully support this 100%. The one thing that I asked the superintendent and Ms. Bilyeu is how this will impact our override election if we do decide to call for one in 2024. As you mentioned in the presentation, the override election is extremely important for our budget, and so I just want to make sure that we are messaging this correctly, and that if we do go for an override, that we make it very clear that these are completely different things. Is that good? All right. Any other questions or discussion? All right, thank you. I call for a motion that the governing board approve the resolution authorizing the district to call for a special election to sell, lease, or exchange district property.
I motion that the governing board approve the resolution authorizing the district to call for a special election to sell, lease, and exchange district property.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Any discussion?
I would just like to say that this is, I'm glad this is moving along. We're at like step 2 of a lot of steps. And, you know, I think we're on track that maybe by the time my term is over here, we might have some of our community members in new housing.
Any other discussion? I want to say thank you to Mr. Solorio and thank you to the entire team. Thank you, Superintendent Mayes, and everybody here in the district for bringing this to us, and also thank you to our legal team. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving to G, board policies. G1, I call for a motion that the governing board approve the first reading of policy G, CCH, professional/support staff bereavement leave. Anyone?
I move, reading it, I move that we approve the first reading of policy GCCH, professional support staff bereavement leave.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Discussion?
Wow, how forward thinking of it. I am so pleased that we are taking this policy forward. When someone loses a family member or someone close to them, it takes more than a day to deal with your own emotions and all the other paperwork that's involved in it. So I am so excited that we are considering this. It's a step forward.
Any other discussion? I would just like to say to our staff, the well-being survey is one of the reasons why we have this on the agenda. There are some comments on the well-being survey saying, I don't think anybody's reading these surveys. I don't think anybody is reading the things that we're actually putting in here. And there are some folks who need bereavement leave. And this is a response, and I just want to say that we're listening and that we read those surveys, and somebody is actually cares. And thank you, Superintendent Mayes, for sharing those responses with the board. And thank you to the whole team, Ms. Perry, for bringing this to us. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving to H, Human Resources, H1, I call for a motion that the governing board approve the addition of a new position titled Speech Language Pathologist Assistant.
I move that we approve the addition of a new position titled Speech Language Pathologist Assistant.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Discussion?
I will say it again. How forward thinking of us. Speech pathologists are hard to come by. So by having us put this language and create this position of a speech language pathologist assistant, we are helping our students by being able to provide better services, but we're also giving someone an opportunity who might want to go on and get a further degree and become licensed as a speech and language pathologist. So it serves two purposes for it. So my kudos to all the people that thought this up and put it into our agenda tonight.
Any other discussion? When I met with the superintendent about this position, we always want to make sure that we're not creating new positions. So Ms. Perry or Dr. Mayes, can you explain whether this is a new position or not?
I will share that we currently have speech-language pathologist assistants in our district as contracted employees. And so this allows us to hire our own employees to do the same work. And it's been a need that's been expressed. I know some of the first meetings I had with our speech language pathologist, they were asking if we could consider this because, as you expressed, it's a great need. And even right now, we continue to have vacancies for speech language pathologists themselves who are taking on a lot of extra load. And so this will be able to assist them. And so hopefully that answers. I don't know, Claire, I know you've been working closely with our director of ESS, Julia Cremona, who's been working hard to ensure we are in a good place before she leaves.
Yes, thank you for the question. President Conchas, governing board members, and Dr. Maez, this wouldn't actually create additional FTE. It's an opportunity to widen our net for candidates. And like Ms. Theo Campos stated, grow them, provide services to our students, and be able to have more people be able to join us with this role, but wouldn't add additional positions.
And a follow-up question is, as a contractor, did they have benefits?
Cannot answer that, but they don't have them from Alhambra, but they would probably, if they're 40 hours, are going to have them from their employer, whoever that third-party vendor is.
And obviously, since we're potentially going to have this new position, they will have benefits?
Correct. These are 40-hour positions.
Great, thank you.
Ma'am?
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving to H2, I call for a motion that the governing board approve the revisions to the guest teacher clerk position.
I move that the governing board approve the position changes for the guest teacher clerk position.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Any discussion?
Yeah, I read those reports week after week after week where our teachers get paid $30 whole because they split up some class and took over because we couldn't find a substitute. So if this is going to help us fill those vacancies, we best be doing it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving to H3, I call for a motion that the governing board approve the revisions to speech language pathologist position. Can I have a motion, please?
I move that we approve the revisions to the changes for the speech language pathologist position.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Any discussion? I learned from our community relations department that today's speech language pathologist day, so that's great.
Great day to do this.
Great day to do this. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving to I, new business. I1. I call for a motion that the governing board approve the Cordova Elementary School partnership with Junior Achievement of Arizona. Motion, please.
I motion that the governing board approve Cordova Elementary School partnership with Junior Achievements of Arizona.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Is there a second? Second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Discussion?
Oh my gosh, this program is amazing. If any of you have ever been in a school where the junior achievement comes in and they bring in people from the industries and they do such amazing work with students, teaching them about financial responsibilities, doing home budgets, just a whole plethora of things. And it is one of in the schools that I've been at, the kids look forward to this day. It is just such an exciting day. So yes, we definitely have to approve this.
Any other discussion?
I'll just say, for me, I'm excited to see this opportunity be explored. I know it'll help our students, but a lot of times it carries out to our families. So from what I've heard from people's experiences that, they take it to their family members and then their family member budgets, and then they have, extra funds to play with as well. So just the way it'll affect our families is going to be big for us.
And I would like to thank Mr. Navarez for inviting me to tour Junior Achievement in Tempe. They gave us an overview of all of their programs, and they mentioned that the programs that they do on campus in the schools is free, and the ones that they do over at JA Day cost between $8 and $19 per student. So this is I know James W. Rice has done Junior Achievement, and this is Cordova. and I would love to see all of our schools participate in some way. Any other discussion?
I would like to include that it starts in kindergarten. It's not just middle school. It's kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. So students who stay with us for that many years, all those concepts are reinforced.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving to I2, issues for delegate assembly consideration for the 2023, consideration for the 2024 political agenda. The governing board is asked to review the attached current political agenda and be prepared to reaffirm its top 5 priorities. 2 additional priorities can also be submitted for the legislative committee to consider. The submission deadline is May 24th, 2023. There is no motion, but this is an opportunity for us to have an open discussion about the 2024 ASBA political agenda. Any discussion?
Okay. Seems to be my night to talk. First of all, holy Moses, this is 2 pages long. What are they thinking? I mean, it's just, you can't, it's like it's too much to possibly even consider all of this. The things that really struck out to me that I think are really important, this will be no surprise to anybody, fully fund full-day kindergarten and include kindergarten students in the override calculations. That's something I think is very important for us as a society. I think that the opposing legislation that is intrusive on school site budgeting decisions, and that we should maintain local authority over those kinds of decisions. I highlighted too many things here. The idea that they will come up with a solution so that we don't have to come up against every year extending the funding limits. I think that's certainly an important one that we need to look at. The item about establishing financial and academic transparencies for the institutions and individuals that accept public funds. So that refers to charter schools and then, of course, the empowerment scholarships as well. And there's one in here about funding preschool. That would be another one that's important and dear to my heart. And then the other one that really stuck out to me, and I can't find it on here, is one about technical education as well. Making sure that our students have access to technical programs. If somebody talks, I'll find it. Okay, you read it. Fully restore 9th and 13th grade CTE eligibility and funding. That's important to me as well. So now you know it's important to me. Oh, there's one other, and it's the one about special education. Let's look at what it really costs to provide services to our special education students. It's burdensome for us here in a city, but when you're in rural areas and you have to come up with some special accommodations for students with special needs, it is even more expensive. So I think that's another important one that ASBA lobbies for.
Any other discussion? I will remind the governing board that we approved this exact political agenda last year. So this is the 2023 political agenda, and we're just looking at anything we want to add or change for this year. one of the things inadequate and equitable fund district schools to at least the national medium per pupil funding. So a really long title. It says to give all districts the authority to provide affordable housing options to faculty and staff. One, in preserve and strengthen local control, is to amend the current statute to allow school board members to use the equal system in addition to in-person signatures to appear on the ballot. Currently, school board members or school board candidates are not able to collect signatures for their candidacy online. When it comes to improve outcomes for all students, it says support policy that recognizes, respects, and promotes teaching as a profession. Require public accountability for taxpayer dollars spent on education. It talks about the ESA program and ensuring that we have accountability for that. And then I would go over the other two, but those are the most important. Any other discussion? All right. We're going to move to I3. I call for a motion that the governing board approve the adoption of the proposed resolution with Greater Phoenix Educational Management Council, Arizona Educational Management Council.
I move that the governing board approve the adoption of the proposed resolution with the Greater Phoenix Educational Management Council / Arizona Education Management Council.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Moving to I4, I call for a motion that the governing board approve the proposed resolution for the Roskazi Foundation.
I move that the governing board approve the proposed resolution to accept the grant from the Rodskatsky Foundation.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Discussion?
What an exciting opportunity for our students. The families were so excited to get their little certificates and sign. And I can't pronounce their name, I'm sorry. They were such generous and such warm and open people. They talked to the students, they talked to the families. It was an amazing evening. And we also got coverage in the newspaper for it. But more importantly, our students are getting an amazing opportunity. And the parents, I'm not sure all the third graders understood, but the parents all understood. We are lucky to have this, and thank you whoever brought them to us, I'm assuming you. Actually, I asked them, and they said it was because of Dr. Maez.
I think this is a wonderful opportunity. I think just removing the financial barriers is going to allow our students to dream even bigger. And so I just hope we stay connected with their parents to remind them that this is, such a great thing for their student to achieve and also enjoy.
One other comment. I did ask them if this was only for four-year colleges or universities, and they said it also could be used for community colleges, and it also could be used for funding I can't remember the word they used, but if you went to a technical school and got a certificate from a technical school, they would also provide funding for that.
I want to say thank you to everyone who was involved in that, especially Dr. Maya's Madrid team and the community relations team as well. Everybody involved. I have a story that I was at my brother's graduation party this past weekend, and one of his family friends on his side stopped me and said, "Hey, I recognize you from Madrid." And so their child was one of the third graders that received it. So it was really nice to see the impact that has. And I know for me, I have over $40,000 in student debt right now, and we're helping alleviate some of these things for these students. And I hope that we continue to work with those families because they usually have more than one child. And I know that some of the parents were asking me that day, is this going to be a one-time thing? What about my second grader or my first grader? And it's hard when we have to say, no, it's just for one time for your third grader. So I hope that we continue working with all of the parents who received those scholarships to help their other children find other opportunities as well for equity. Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving to J, comments and communications. J1, comments from governing board members.
I'll just say a few things. So the month of May encompasses many celebratory recognitions: Teachers Appreciation Week, National Nurses Day, School Principals Day, commencements, promotions, and even our Alhambra retirees. May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. Our students, staff, families, and community members' well-being is important to me, as it is to many of you all in this district. Having services like Gaggle, Leader in Me, a well-coordinated family resource center, empowered counselors and social workers, supportive staff and teachers, and training opportunities such as trauma-informed care makes our district educating the whole child's mission that much stronger. As we conclude this year, I wish everyone a safe self-care summer. I commit to spotlighting the importance of mental health throughout my time serving the district. I'm excited to see the healing work the district can bring to the community.
Any other comments?
I have one that's a belated thank you. And thank you for your comments. The focus on mental health is definitely something that even our students are aware of. I was at the GAP presentation before I came here, and a number of them had projects in the community relating to mental health and mental awareness, and also to helping the unhoused and the homeless people as well. So it's not just the adults. Our students are very aware of what's going on in the community and are very much wanting to help in those areas. My second thing is, we as a board recently had a retreat. It was an amazing retreat. In the years I've been on the board, we've never had anything like that. It was so informative. There was so much information. It was so well organized, and there was food. It was just amazing, and I wanted to thank the people who took the effort to put that together for us, because I know that took a lot of time away from other jobs that you also had and have. So thank you very much for all of that.
Any other comments? My comments tonight, as a board member, it's my privilege to express our deepest thanks to all the incredible teachers who dedicate their lives to shaping the minds and hearts of our students. During this Teacher Appreciation Week, we pause to reflect on the immeasurable impact that teachers have on the lives of our students. Statistics show that students who have had the privilege of learning from dedicated teachers are more likely to graduate, pursue higher education, and achieve success in their careers. The influence of a teacher extends far beyond the classroom, nurturing confidence, sparking curiosity, and fostering a lifelong love for learning. However, today, I must also share our condolences with the Sevilla East Elementary School community. It is with heavy hearts that we mourn the loss of our beloved member of our educational family, Mr. Kevin Riordan, a second grade teacher who impacted the lives of so many learners over 2 decades. His dedication, kindness, and passion for teaching will forever be remembered. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, friends, and colleagues, and the students whose lives he profoundly impacted. In times of loss, we are reminded of the resilience and strength within our educational community. It is through the support, care, and love we share that we heal and uplift one another. So let us not forget the incredible teachers who stand before us, tirelessly shaping the future, despite the challenges that they face. You are the heart of this educational system, and we are grateful for your commitment to our students. As we continue this journey together, let's honor Mr. Riordan's memory by embracing the power of education and the profound impact we have on young lives. Let us come together to uplift and support one another, for it is through unity that we find strength. Thank you, dear teachers, for your passion, your dedication, your unwavering belief in the potential of every student. Together, let us continue to inspire, to empower, and to create a brighter future for all. Thank you, and may your hearts be filled with joy and fulfillment that comes from making a difference. Thank you. Any other comments? Moving to J2, comments, governing board direction and/or agenda item requests. None. Going to J3, comments from superintendent and executive team.
Good evening, everyone. Though our team is a little larger now, they promised to be brief, and so each of them has a lot to, because you guys all do have a ton to share. I know everyone's working really hard and doing great things, supporting our teams at the schools. But Mr. Reese, let's begin with you, and then we'll work our way around. Thank you.
Thank you, President Conchas, governing board members, Dr. Myers, Alhambra community. Good evening to you all. It is with pleasure that I share with you that our Educational Services Department and Human Resources is collaborating to create a structure to support our newest teachers to the district. In fact, tonight we celebrated a good number of people who are retiring, and as we continue to see teachers retire, we also see on the other end a lot of new teachers coming in fact, many of them without much teaching experience at all. And so it is our duty to ensure that we support them. And what we're working out is pretty exciting, and it's really fun to share this with you tonight. We have our early retirees, right? And so what a wealth of information and experience those individuals bring to the teaching profession as they're beginning the next phase of their life of retirement. But in the current model, these early retirees have a bit of a commitment still with the district that allows them to remain in our classrooms, oftentimes as substitute teachers. This year we had a number of them who were working to support our assessments, testing. But we're going to identify 5 of those people, 5 of those really stellar retirees, early retirees, and we are going to commit them to support our newest teachers, our teachers who need that support. And what a fantastic pairing of experience and a know-how with those most vulnerable, newest members of our community in the classrooms. And so we're very excited to continue to work through that framework and put something really fun together. And soon we'll have more to share with you. And I'd like to extend a tremendous amount of gratitude to Mr. Mark Liberty, our Educational Service Department, Ms. Claire Perry, and all the work that we're doing to collaborate to make this come to life. So thank you.
Thank you, Governing Board President Mr. Conchas, the Governing Board members, and Superintendent Dr. Mayez. So it's very exciting to know that Cordova Elementary School will be working with Junior Achievement BizTown. It's such a great opportunity for kids to experience not just learning about financial literacy, but being able to apply it in a really fun way and take those leadership business roles. And you're right, they do take them home and they share them with their families and make a difference. Well, I'm very excited to share with you that a project is under works where we can provide more opportunities for students to connect what they're learning in the classrooms to real-world opportunities. We're working to develop a systematic approach for field trips where we can align it to all of our students, every grade level, and have it be those fun, memorable moments, but really helping them to see outside the window of the corners around them. My grandfather in his broken English used to tell me, education is good, but experience is where you learn. And so our hope is that we can really open up the windows, open up the doors, get our kids out to the world around them, help them connect with their minds and with their passions, and just give them influences that they don't even know they have. And build that motivation inside them. So we're going to be working on that this summer, and I'm excited to keep you informed along the way. Thank you.
Good evening, President Conchas, Governing Board members, and Dr. Mayez, and our Alhambra community. I recently had the pleasure of facilitating our annual Performance Pay Committee meeting recently in April. The committee provided really valuable feedback. We brought up some new ideas, tried to think how can we continue supporting teachers and also push forward with our teaching and learning of our students. We talked about some different recommendations as we continuously strive to improve everything we do. Since then, we've been collaborating and kind of going back and forth with some virtual collaboration. And we are anticipating bringing up performance pay to the governing board for your hopeful acceptance and approval in our next meeting in early June. So we're excited about that. Thank you.
Great. Good evening, President Conchas and the board and Dr. Mayez. I'm excited. You've already mentioned Leader in Me. In addition to
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Closer. There we go. In addition to Leader and me, upon a conversation that Mr. Navarez and I had around social workers, we are privileged after your vote tonight to add an additional social worker intern to each of our campuses to further support the needs of our students as they grow those life skills through Leader and Me, and as we meet the mental and social emotional needs of our students. So I'm excited that we continue to grow that team of student support.
Thank you, President Conchas, members of the board, and Dr. Mayes. This Monday, our district recognized a packed boardroom of outstanding parent volunteers from every site with a breakfast, certificates, and gift cards. This recognition event was planned by our very own parent volunteer coordinators, but it wouldn't have been possible without the collaboration and support of the Family Resource Center, so a special shout out to Yvette Nava, who leads that work, the business department, our child nutrition department, and the Alhambra Education Partnership, who donated funds, and Trader Joe's, who donated a portion of the flowers. Wonderful connections were made and celebrated at this event that showed appreciation for all the hard work that our parents put in serving at our schools and within our community. But the best part was hearing the principals' stories and the impact that these volunteers have on our campuses every single day. We really can't do what we do without them.
Thank you all. And then I'll just add that, again, everyone, I appreciate everyone's hard work as we are wrapping up this school year. And I had the pleasure of attending the tour, or the tours that were being provided for Westwood students at CLA. And so I know as governing board members, you're concerned and want to make sure that our fourth graders have a smooth transition to CLA. And I'm very thankful to Mr. Reese and the team who had just amazing tours. So the kids rode buses today and were able to see a band playing. And I mean, we had to cover our ears, the music, the guitars, and everything. It was really loud, but the kids were so excited, and so many now want to join the band. We got to see dance performances, which the kids were really excited about that too. They were flying drones, and they got to see 3D printers and just all kinds of fun stuff. It was so neat to see kids really excited, and they're already waiting to see which electives or which academies they'll be a part of. And so again, it was really neat to see, and a lot of parents were actually there too. So that was exciting to see. Then the other thing I just wanted to share was along the lines of what Mr. Reese was sharing. I had the pleasure of stopping by to see our new teachers who met for the last time yesterday. We had a number of new teachers, and I know Educational Services has also worked hard to really support our new teachers. And I want to thank Ms. Kathy Field, who's been very diligent about listening to the feedback from our new teachers to not only ensure that we've been growing along the way this year, but even that we provide an even better opportunity for our new teachers next year. And she actually heard from our teachers, several of our teachers said that it's because of the experience and support they had from that induction and the AMP support, which I know Ms. Veronica Barrick out there also supports, so thank you, that they said that they're coming back, because of that support. And so again, a big thank you to our team. And I know that we'll be presenting some data soon, so I don't want to give away too much information, but third grade data was received from our state assessment, since we do have to plan interventions for those students that need that extra support over the summer. And we are pleased to share that we did have a pretty significant increase as far as the amount of students that were proficient compared to last year. And so we are very proud of the hard work. We know we still have a lot more work to do because we know how brilliant our kids are, and we want to make sure that we really are ensuring they reach their full potential. But it is great to see the progress that's being made so far as we continue to improve in all we do. So thank you to everyone for all your hard work, and we look forward to a wonderful week next week as we wrap up and look forward to summer school with our kids. So thank you.
Thank you. Moving to K, meeting closing. K1, the next governing board meeting is on June 8th. K2, calendar of events. It's provided in your board packet. We won't see you all until after the last day of school. K3, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Discussion is that I told Mr. Navarez that we'd get out of here before Mr. Solorio that we get out of here before 7:30, and it's 7:26. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned.